Hi guys, Suffolk Hobbit, and I have a box opening to do. It's going to be a good one. I'm very pleased about this. I have already opened the box because I'd actually forgotten what was coming, and it's a Forge World model, so of course certain Forge World models aren't actually in boxes, they're just in bags. And I opened up the box and I was like, oh, it's this! So this is a box, so this is an already opened box of which we're now going to look in. So this is kind of a bag opening of a box opening. Yeah, we'll go with that. So this is the Imperial Guard, or Astra Militarum, Trojan support vehicle. Dun dun dun! Very excited. I've wanted this for a long time. Long time. A year, two up there, a year, 2 years. That's for the usual. Bits and bobs and things. Like that. Got the usual invoice, photography stuff, and we've got. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's what I thought. So that's the. There you go. Here we are. Trojan support vehicle complete. It says, because as I realised with this kit, when I've been reading about another like people's forums and bits and bobs, this is originally this was sold as literally a conversion kit. So it's literally just the pieces for the Trojan vehicle, and that was it. Whereas at some point, when I haven't noticed this and I've only seen the kit as it is currently, you do get the whole thing, which is a whole Chimera kit, and then the Trojan bits. Well, I assume it's a whole Chimera kit. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. It looks like it is at a glance. So let's get this bad boy open. So we've got. Oh, hello. Okay, well, I've not had that before. I have a Forge World bag. It's not actually sealed. The seal's sealed, but the plastic bit's not sealed to the seal, so it just kind of rips open. There you go. That's the ease of access. Okay, so here's all the Chimera bit. We all know what these are. What this is. Is this the full kit? No, it's not, is it? I'm answering my own questions here, I know, but nah. Hang on a second. Okay. I'll take it back. It's not a full Chimera kit. Okay. Here's the bits. Here's the good stuff in that bag. So, what have we got here? Some other. So that's not normally in the bag, unless it's because. Well, there's the usual how-to Forge World assembly stuff. And there's the here's the legendary Forge World instructions. A piece of A4 paper with a couple of pictures on in black and white. Good one. I don't know. Yeah, I won't go on about that because I mentioned that before. So we've got this instruction. So we've got 2 doors, a crane, the whole top, hull rear, and the ramp. Interestingly enough, in my ignorance, I didn't know this. It's got copyright 1999 on, and also, looking at the picture, that is an old Chimera chassis. That is not the new one. This picture's the old chassis where you actually had to glue the sides, whatever that side bit is, whether it's going to be like a part of the wheels or something. That side bit, that's the bigger one. That's meant to glue that on, whereas rather than nowadays where it's all moulded in. And looking at the picture as well, I don't know if you're able to tell as well, but that looks really white. That's quite a grey piece of resin. That looks really white. So I would say this is actually quite an old kit, and I didn't realise it was that old. I was obviously into the stuff back in 98, 99 when I started, but I didn't realise. I knew Forge World did stuff. I knew back then Forge World, I think, did like busts more, like bigger model Space Marines and things. But I didn't realise they were doing this sort of stuff. In my ignorance, admittedly, I've learnt something new. And funny enough, it says right here, to complete your model, you will require the plastic kit of the Basilisk tank available from Games Workshop. The parts in this conversion kit replace the cannon in the kit to produce the Trojan support vehicle. Wow, so this is actually quite an old. Conversion kit, or tank or whatever. I did not realise it was this old. I assumed this was a more, well, not modern, but I just assumed that this was a more recent-ish, last 10 years, 15 years model. I didn't realise. This is He's 21 years old now. Blimey, wow. Well, there you go. Cool. Well, there's that then anyway. There's a little side thing for us, wasn't it? How exciting. So, so let's get on the boring bits first, because this is, I'm actually a little bit excited about this. So you got the base, you got the bottom half of the Chimera Basilisk. I haven't got a new Basilisk, so I'm assuming this is probably the same, I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, so you got the bottom half of the new Chimera. So you've got the tracks, you've got the bottom plate, obviously the two sides, and obviously got the front piece. Wonderful. The cool thing with this kit, though, actually, in all seriousness, is you normally have to pay, I think, I'm not entirely sure, but I think you have to pay £10 to £15 for this. This is sold, last time I looked, this is sold on the Games Workshop as the tank accessories sprue. So you've got track guards, you've got a decent, more modern dozer blade, you've got a hunter killer missile, more old school hunter killer missile. You've got a few extra weapons, you've got a heavy stubber, sort of different sort of crew things going on there. You've got a couple of accessories and stuff. Now I think this did originally used to come with the tank kit, like the older tank kit, when I built my first Lehman Russ kit from ages ago. It was an old one which come with this, whereas the new ones don't. It's just the Lehman Russ, and that's it. If you want the extra juicy bits, you've got to pay for one of these bad boys. So this is awesome, because I have another Lehman Russ that still needs some track guards. I just got a free extra kit thing, sort of, well, it cost me money, but it's free, so that's handy. So yeah, so you got one of these, you got your standard bottom half of the Chimera, and you've also got this, all the extras on. You've got the searchlight, the petrol canisters. Yeah, I'm going to have some fun with this. This is cool. Heavy flamer. Won't be using a heavy flamer. I'm going to keep this machine pretty vanilla. I might put a heavy stubber on it, maybe. We'll see. So okay, so anyway, here's the juicy bits, that awesome stuff, and yeah, it's pretty cool. It's Forge World. What can you say? It's cool. It's cool. It's going to need the clean. It's got that lovely sort of feel to it, that weird sort of oily feel. You know, when you get like a weird sort of substance, don't you? Sort of when you, I don't know, moving furniture, you got the weird like polishy feel. You feel like things are like smooth and really weird. This stuff's caked in it today. So we have the first piece, which is the hull, the rear hull of the Trojan support vehicle. So that's obviously where the crane is anchored. Got some nice bits of detail there. Where's my camera? Try and catch the light nice. Oh, look at that, look. Beautiful. There you go, nice little side profile there, very nice. Little hatches there, like entrance hatch, or maybe like an engine hatch for the crane maybe. Got some nice steps going on here, that's cool, I like that. I'm not sure what that's meant to be, like a little lever is it, or just like a little power conduit? Maybe that's meant to be like a light beaming out the side, or maybe some sort of exhausty type things. That's cool. Just a simple block of resin, not a huge material. The detail's sweet, it's quite nice, not too bad. Have some fun with that. We have a heavy bolter. We have a heavy bolter and resin, people, for the front of the Chimera. Why would that be? Or is it because it's not? Oh, of course not. It's because it's not on the sprue. Okay, that makes sense. I was sort of thinking, why have we got an extra? But of course, this comes on on what would be the Chimera turret. So yes, there's a heavy bolter, Forge Road heavy bolter. Ta-da! Also one of them before. We've got the, what's this called? This is the ramp, the rear ramp. So the inside's, what it is that cheese grater looking thing. And just simply a couple of door, hinges, not a lot more to that really. And this piece would obviously fit sort of, well, you can't really tell because it's got this lump, but imagine that underneath it, it's going to kind of sit like that, obviously, underneath, give or take. Got a couple of doors, the doors, yeah, nicely modelled. Got some nice internal bits there. You got a couple of like little wires, some from there, some from that one as well, just the corner there. So that's cool, a little bit of internal sort of thing. Not too bad. The crane itself is very nice. Needs a bit of clean up. Can't fault it. It's not. Do you know what? This isn't hugely detailed. I mean, it is, but it isn't. Now that I've seen this up close, sorry, I'll show you guys it as well. It's nice. It really is nice. Nice, it is what it is. It's It's awesome. Can't knock it. It's, you know, it does purpose, but it's not that crisp. It's not that crisp. It's slightly smoothed. Like I'm not knocking it. Don't get me wrong, but like these bits here, that little detail there, buttons or whatever they're meant to be, lights, I don't know, firework launchers. They're quite smooth. The edges aren't really, you know, like what we expect from modern stuff. And I just wonder if the moulds are old, or how this was originally made. You know, are the edges? Is that what's happened? Is that a product of it being such an old kit now? Maybe now that I've just discovered it's like 21 odd years old. But yes, cool. So that's the crane anyway. Going off a little tangent there. And then this is awesome. This is cool. Might need to tidy up. There's a shovel on the side. There's a shovel accessory, and that's a bit weak. It needs a bit tidying up. So you got the shovel there. So this is the top. Obviously, this is the top of the support vehicle. So you got like your, I suppose your commander. It's probably, I think that the crew of these tanks is 3 to 4. So anyway, so you got a little view slit there because this sits a bit higher than the Chimera would do, whereas where the turret would be, this sits higher up. Got a little light there, or speaker maybe. I'd say it's a light, but you could say it's a speaker. Got a little shovel on the side there, it's pretty cool. And then on the sides here, you got the usual Aquila. Is it Aquila? You know, the little skull and wings, and got a little. I was going to say it's another light type thing, maybe, or maybe like a camera for the crew to see outside from inside, maybe. That's pretty cool. Again, I don't know if you can tell, but that skull, we're not going to quite catch the light, are we? No, not quite. But that skull, this side is quite nice. That side, really, really weak. It's quite blurred. There's not a lot of detail there. And again, I'm not knocking it. That's obviously a reflection in the age of the kit. That's quite, yeah, that is quite old. This piece is, 1998, 1999. There's a little copyright etched in this. 99. Blimey, wow, can't believe that. It's just, I just hadn't thought it is that old a kit. Like, I knew it was an oldish kit, but like I say, I was quite surprised by that. Yeah. As if. No. But, yeah, so these are the sort of lost me trying to thought there, so I just got the copyright thing. But yeah, so it's going to need a bit of tidying up. I'm probably going to use a Sharpie just to maybe go over the edge details. This bit probably more than the other bits, actually, to be fair. The rest of it's fine. Like this piece is quite nice. So I might go over the grooves. There's some grooves in the top there. Don't know if you can just see them. A couple of lines of grooves. Not that detailed, not that deep. So I'll go over again. But yeah, this is the kit. It's £48 for the kit. It's worth it. I'd say it's worth it for what this tank can do. It adds +1 to. Yeah, it adds +1 to something. I can't tell you what because I've completely forgotten. I think you get a +1 to your hit rolls, or because the Salamander command vehicle does like the other. So one does one thing, one does the other thing. One does adds to the hit rolls, and one adds to the wound rolls. I'm probably wrong. Do correct me in the comments below. But yeah, this is a worthwhile tank in terms of what you want to use it for. It's probably going to be you're probably going to use this more for high points value things, because put this bad boy. A lot of people seem to really put this with their super heavy. So your Storm, your Shadow Sword, your Bane Blade, pretty much any sort of variant really. I would imagine you're going to have this with them. I think a lot of people tend to run this with Shadow Sword mainly, but they do use the standard Bane Blade from what I've read. I'm going to experiment. I'm going to put this thing with every single tank you can think of. But I think this works at higher points values because for the points this costs, which isn't a huge amount, but it hasn't got a lot to defend itself with. So you're going to want to use, sort of want to protect it, and obviously have it just tied up with one tank really, probably a super heavy tank. And it's probably going to be a bit of a target priority number 1, if not a number 2, depending on what it's sidled up with. Because if this is adding a +1 to the tank it's with, that main tank would be quite a threat. So it might be worth taking this out just to get rid of that +1. And obviously it's a Chimera, so the wounds are very similar to a Chimera, so it's not going to last long. And obviously I'll say its defensive capabilities aren't great. Which sort of leads me on to what my plan is with this thing. So I've seen a couple of other YouTube videos with this, and what I'm thinking of doing is armament-wise, I'm going to be going with obviously the heavy bolter. That's just might as well do. And I will be giving it the heavy stubber, and that's just to give it a little bit of ranged shooting. Simple as that. I mean, the heavy stubber is not a fantastic weapon, but for its points, it is good, and you got a good bit of range and get a few shots off. It's something. The same with the heavy bolter. Fine. There's no point putting a heavy flamer on it. If it's going to get charged, something's gone seriously wrong for it to get charged, because it's not. It shouldn't be getting charged. Or if it has got charged, it's because the vehicle it was supporting has been eradicated, and it's not going to do much more anyway. So it's kind of, for me personally, it doesn't see much point to it. I feel the heavy bolt would be more beneficial, because I could position it better to at least sort of cover a rear flank of the main tank it's on, to pop off a few shots as and when. It's going to be stationary, so it's going to be shooting on fours regardless, which is cool. But the plan, so that's the armament, I should say. See, I may add smoke launchers on it as well for that, but same reason. It's going to be trying to defend itself, so I might add smoke launchers to it. Maybe a hunter killer. I could always magnetise that on though. To be fair, if I'm going up against like a night army, I might add a hunter killer into it, just so it's got a bit of shooting extra. I know hunter killer's a bit hit and miss, but it might just be worth it. Again, it won't be moving anyway, so it's going to be on the 4+ at least, hopefully. Which would be good. Think about it. So yeah, I might add them, but I'll definitely add the smoke launchers for sure, because it's not necessarily be shooting every turn. It's going to just be sat there doing its its intended purpose, which would be good. But apart from that, going off. So there's another chap on YouTube, can't think of his name, but credit to him. You'd soon see him. He recommends he does a build and he explains what he's done, and he used a guitar string along this crane, just hanging down a little bit, and he makes a little hook. I'm going to do something very similar. I play bass guitar and I've got a 5-string bass, so my strings are pretty thick. I'm assuming the thinnest strings should fit on this. If not, I might have a look on eBay and see if there's something there, if I'll be a string I can use. If not, I'm going to use a very thin piece of brass rod, just bend it into shape, just have it there. And I'm also going to go for the same thing of building a little hook, because this kit as it is, it's literally just this, which isn't it's brilliant, but you want it to look like what it's meant to be. It's meant to be a crane, so you'd want it to have that little extra thing. So I will also be building a hook type attachment thing. So I've sort of taken that idea from the chap. Also, because this piece fits in that hole just there, just fine and dandy. Not the best grip, not the best fit in the world, and also actually looking at it, I'm gonna have to smooth. Where are we? I'm going to have to smooth this little round piece down here. I'm going to have to get rid of that, because it's actually rubbing on the round here, so it's actually not sitting flush when I push down to how it should be. It's actually tilting forward slightly. Not the end of the world, but it doesn't look right, it doesn't feel right, so yeah, I'll have to work on that. But either way, I am going to magnetise this. I think a magnet grip's going to work quite nicely. I know other people have said that they drill a nice metal pin into there to hold it in, but I'd rather have a magnet. I'll just be happy with that. Just my personal thing. And again, it'll turn nicely, so I can get it to do things and whatnot. And yes, that's what I'm going to do with this. I'll do the usual paint scheme with the rest of my tanks. That sort of the Fang colour, bluey sort of colour sort of thing. But what I am going to do inside this thing is I've got a lot of scenery pieces up. Loads of stuff saved up and things. I've got crates, I've got barrels. I bought quite an old set, the 40k. Terrain set, you like a tank trap thing, a couple of barrels and a few bits and bobs. I'm going to have some of those barrels and bits and not so much barrels, sorry, but like the box, the ammo crates and stuff. I'm going to fit them inside the Chimera, so you'll be able to see it because these doors, I'm going to have these doors fixed open, so they'll be fixed open, quite open as well. I'm going to have all the interior painted, like really painted up nicely, and I'm going to get Mordy 9 Guardsman, one of the. Might have to cut them in half, but I'm going to try and get more Mordy 9's Guardsmen from a heavy weapons crew, so I'm going to have it where they're kneeling rather than sat with legs forward. I'm going to try and go for a kneeling position, maybe a legs forward position sat down, but hopefully kneeling. And that's my little, don't know what she's doing, and have him glued and sat inside there to make it look like he's the operator of the crane, so I'm hoping. A lot of work for something you're going to hardly probably see unless you say, oh hey, by the way, look what's inside it. But I wanted to experiment with it and paint it nicely because I'm hopefully going to get a little LED inside this bad boy with the battery compartment probably in the front of the Chimera where the drive would sit, so I can at least swap the lithium battery out, you know, as and when, but have a light inside, so it will give it a lot of character, and it will make it like, wow, you like, you know, you're playing with it and stuff and you've got a light going, you can see inside, there's loads of detail inside, and I think it'll give it a lot of character because I feel this vehicle, as good as it is in the game, depends on the points levels and stuff, it needs something more to make it really, wow, and I think it deserves it because of the lore, because of the fluff of what it is and things. I think it really needs something a bit more like, wow, and I'm also thinking of making some sandbags out of the El Putty stuff and that. Loads of the extras, like, again, because it comes with this thing, which I didn't know about, you got an oil barrel there, you got more shovels, you've got ammo crate things here, your ammo box, you've got a little bag of goodies as usual there. I'm thinking of seriously decking this thing out and making it look really workhorse. So it does look like, yeah, it supports the tanks, yeah, it brings, you know, munitions to the tanks and to the artillery and things, but also it's had a load of other stuff chucked onto it for guardsmen, you know, if they're really trenched in, and this thing's like, you know, the proper workhorses ploughing through trenches and through city warscapes and stuff. You know, it's got loads of stuff bundled on it. You know, the crew are like real grizzled engineers. You know, they'll have like sandbags and stuff all over and things. Now, they're going to be helping their fellow guardsmen out. Maybe it's even their stuff. They're used to working under fire, so they're used to sort of jumping out the vehicle, grabbing a weapon as they're sort of firing like mad, trying to get bits out. I want to have that, so the whole tank tells its own little story, really. And also by doing that, I can then make up little battle scenarios, to have this like something that's got to be rescued and stuff. I've got a few old style tank crew as well, so I'm going to have them with it. Just my mind just goes, think of all these ideas. So yeah, well, I think that was sort of an unboxing as well as a massive great chat, really, wasn't it? But yeah, so I'm very pleased with that. I'll keep you guys posted on this. I've got tons of stuff in my cupboard of shame of miniatures, which I'm really starting to lose the battle against. I'm normally quite on top of my minis, but in the last sort of 8-9 months, I've lost the battle completely, if I'm honest. But yeah, I'll keep it posted. This is going to be the next project for me, definitely. And I'm just going to finish off the video, really. Blimey, we've been 22 minutes already. I do apologise, guys. I do appreciate the fact you listened to me waffling on for so long, because I don't think I could stand listening to my own voice for that amount of time. But have you guys noticed at all, you Astra Militarum fans out there, have you noticed a distinct lack of love for the Imperial Guard, the Astra Militarum, recently? I've noticed Forge World seems to have taken away a lot of their tanks, a lot of their conversion options, like a lot of stuff. I've noticed in the last few months, a few things were out of stock for quite some time. It was just that, you know, notify me when it's in stock option. But I've noticed the Centaur artillery tractor, that's gone. You've got, I'm sure the Chimera heavy bolter turret conversion, that's now gone. I think there's another Chimera version, that's also gone. Trying to think now, there's quite a few tanks that have disappeared. I know the Salamander tank had gone quite a while ago, but there's quite a lot of other Imperial Guard tanks that have gone. There's a lot of like the troop things, they've also gone. And a lot of the heavy weapon variety options of the Death Corps of Krieg weapon options, they've also gone. There's a lot of stuff that seems to have disappeared, and I'm just wondering why that is. Because it's all like I know it's the Sentinel carrier, like the forklift Sentinel, that went as well quite a while ago. I think about this time last year, if I'm not mistaken, probably sooner than even earlier than that. So I was kind of half panic bought this tank as well because I've wanted it for so long, but it's always been one of those things where I'm like, yeah, but I don't need it, I'll get it another time. When I noticed all this stuff was starting to disappear, I was like, right, I need to get that because I feel this could be going very soon, it seems. Nothing's been officially said, but it's just gone. And again, it's the usual Games Workshop / Forge World thing of, you know, they never put a thing out saying, guys, we're retiring this kit for now. you know, get it whilst you can. You've got a few weeks left. There's never that. There seems to be the trend of it's out of stock, out of stock, out of stock, out of being even shown, and then it's gone. And I really do hate that. I wish they gave people the option, like myself, just had the option of, at least even if I couldn't buy it, at least having the option of thinking, oh no, that's going to go. Well, I've got to prioritise that. I'm not going to work on that army for the next year, but at least I've got the kits when I do. Because right now they're gone. And when I did look, because I wanted to get the Centaurs, and when I look on eBay, currently there's only one person selling them, and that's in the Ukraine or something. They go for like £98 each, and it's like, no, really, I'm not going to spend £98 on that kit because it's 45 new. It's not going to happen, or £42 new, whatever it was. So I don't know what's going on there. I know they've got a lot of other kits, and I can only assume what is similar to the Middle Earth range could be similar in general for the entire company. Maybe that is what it is. I'm not entirely sure. You'd have to correct me if I'm wrong, but something about the barcodes, the SKU codes. I think there's a thing where they can only have so many. So if things aren't selling, they'll stop that one to then free up that SKU code, the barcode, if that is the same thing, to then put into a new kit they want to release. And they do it in Middle Earth. I'm just wondering if they're doing the same thing with Forge World stuff, because there's some lovely new stuff for the Horus Heresy range coming out. You've got the what are they called? Basically the PDF, aren't they? There's like a you can get like a free las rifle platoons in one whole kit for £60 odd, and that seems to be quite a new addition that I've noticed anyway. I've not been into Forge World 40k stuff for a little while recently, because I've been focusing more on the fantasy things and Middle Earth and stuff. But yes, I'm wondering if maybe that's why a lot of the stuff's been taken out of production. Obviously the Elysians, they went a long time ago, which is a shame. Because again, that was a kind of a back burner idea. Once I had a bit of money saved up, I was going to sort of invest in a nice little platoon of them with a couple of the the vehicles, you know. It's a shame they've gone, but hopefully they'll come back. Who knows? They're lovely models. I'd be surprised if they didn't bring them back in some way, shape or form. And maybe they're going to change the Astra Militarum in general. Like, you've got the new tanks for the Space Marines, you've got the new Space Marines themselves. So maybe down the line the law will change. The Imperial Guard get some variants as well. New looking Cadians, new looking Guardsmen in general. I mean, the Katashan plastic kits, I mean, the troop ones, they're some old kits, aren't they? They're seriously old. They're probably the first plastic Militarum they had, bar the original Militarum way back when. Yes, we're going to see if anything changes. I hope they don't change the tanks so they become floating tanks, because I'm not a fan of the floating tanks, if I'm honest. I know it makes sense as future, they're modernising their technology, it's going to happen, but it's just a shame that eventually we're going to probably lose all the Space Marine tracked vehicles, and it will just go straight into these hover tank things. I just kind of, I don't know, just a sort of nostalgic reminiscence of mine, that I always like tanks as tanks. Probably in the future when we're long buried and gone, and that there will be, you know, hover tanks. But yeah, it seems a shame. I just hope they don't do that with the Guard, because I don't feel that would suit the Guard. They probably won't, but it's just one of those things. Yeah, but we'll see. Well, that's my rambling over with. Hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you enjoyed the unboxing. I will keep you posted on the goodies. That's about it. I'm not entirely sure if I had anything else planned. I was doing these videos off the bat, to be honest. But I will be doing a video showcasing my Chaos Dwarfs painted in all their glory. They are sat right next to me, but their bases are not finished yet, so I will not show you. I have to get everything done first. I've painted Hobgoblins. I've got 6. I've painted 3 in a blue skin colour and 3 in the usual green skin colour. And yeah, I think they've come out pretty well. A few of my friends like them. I wanted to try something a bit different, and they do look really good. I'm really pleased with how it come out. So I'll show you that video in the not too distant future. I have a new Blood Bowl season starting tomorrow. Wish me luck. I'll probably lose as usual, but hey, wish me luck. As usual, thank you for watching. Thank you very much for watching, and thank you to my recent subscribers. I've had a few, 3 or 4 I'd say, in the last few weeks. I think it seems that I may have lost a couple as well, but that is what it is. It doesn't matter. You know, you guys don't have to subscribe, and you sure as hell don't have to watch me. So I appreciate anyone that has subscribed and then left, because they watched me at some point. So thank you for that. But for the new ones, thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. And again, one thing I probably don't say anymore, which I probably should, so I'm going to say it now. Comment and tell me if there's anything you'd like me to do. Is there any ideas you have for me? Anything you fancy me doing, or are you happy just doing what I'm doing? Are you like me, where I like to have YouTube videos in the background, just listen to people talking about models as a thing whilst you're painting, because I love doing that. So yeah, let me know. Thanks for watching, guys, and take care. I'll see you soon. Rock and roll.